Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is June 17th, 2021. This is episode 336. Today we're looking at Captain Harlock. He's a space pirate, and you might have seen the Netflix anime on Harlock Space Pirate, or not, but this is the same character, obviously. It's based on the work of Leiji Matsumoto, okay? And this is in Ablaze, published. It's the number 1. And this is a recommend. I did enjoy this quite a bit, as I did like the anime. And we'll get in the story in just a little bit here. Let's talk about some other things, like the cover. There's a bunch of variant covers, but I think this is probably one of the strongest ones, and we'll take a quick look at that. If you're watching on your screen, you can pause it and take a longer look. But I think this is a pretty dynamic cover here. He's holding some kind of weapon. We get the foreshortening of it coming out at us. It's got this cool hilt with the skull and crossbones on it. He's got his own particular skull and crossbones look to his outfit here, and you can see it's on his lapel as well, or collar. He's holding, looks like, what is a drink? I'm assuming that's like a rock glass with maybe some whiskey or something like that in it. He's got the eye patch and a scar, and even though he is pretty young, he has seen a lot of the road, or space in this case. He's got his pet bird sitting in the back there instead of a parrot, and I think this bird is able to fly in space as well, or I'm pretty sure it can, but don't quote me on that. This is the first issue in on here. So let's take a look to see who worked on this. And we get a look at him in his airtight suit as well. The story is Leiji Matsumoto and Jerome Alquit. The art is Jerome Alquit. The letters is by Desi Sayente. And the manager and editor was Rich Young, and the editor was Kevin Kettner. Okay, so I think there was a translation on this. It is based on, I believe, manga and anime as well. Now we get the art in here is pretty good. I like it. The story is a little complex, but it is very linear and it's very easy to follow, even though there's a number of things going on, and they explain it pretty well. We get a prologue here with the showing the pirate ship itself. Now I must say the pirate ship here to me looks different than what I remember in the anime, but it's still a nice looking ship. I think the anime one might be a little more intense looking. This looks more of a organic look to it. You can see it looks like it's flying over the moon, heading towards Earth. This is in the future, way in the future. I think they give us a number somewhere. The name of the ship is the Arcadia, and this is 2977. Then we get this side story, and look at this art. It's really intricate, like a nice lace there going on, but just so organic looking, yet it's futuristic at the same time. And they tell the story of a race called the Manzons, meaning from like Amazon, but they're just Manzons, and how this queen had taken them there, and they'd gone off from Earth to other planet. That planet started to die, so they're making their trek back to Earth to take it over. And you get a shot at some of these spacecraft that they're using here. They also sent a sphere ahead of them to Earth, which crashed into one of the major cities. It released some kind of radiation that woke some of the Mason beings that were left behind, and they were able to create havoc in the meantime before the rest of the population arrived. Now, what we have in Earth is a prime minister that's pretty apathetic to everything. He's not really seeing this as an issue. We do have scientists investigating it, but the government in general is just kind of turning a blind eye to the whole operation here. Now, Captain Harlock, who's a pirate, obviously, he he's wanted by the Earth authorities, but he's fearless, and but he's also got like a kind heart. Apparently, he's guardian of this child that lives on Earth, and he wants to get a better place for her as well. And you get a shot of his crew. You can see they're kind of all different, very unique in their own way, and I like that about them. The women in here, however, they tend to be idealized, and the young girls, same thing. They're kind of like one shape. The men are all different shapes, sizes, looks. As you can see, she's the girl that it's his ward is holding a wanted poster of Harlock, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So Harlock is being very he's doing his research on this invasion that's coming, and he's worried that the Earth authorities aren't going to do anything. He wants to make sure his ward is going to be okay, and that's the reason he is returning to Earth this time. And there you can see his sword a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's like electronic probe, a prod, perhaps, or it obviously does some kind of damage. But they capture a freighter, stun the crew, and take the alcohol and food. And they leave the rest, or they make the ship lose the rest out into space. They don't have a good relationship with Earth. Take a look at this art. It is manga styled, obviously, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. Now you can see that he visits his daughter. She's looking at the poster, and well, he's about to visit her, and some kids are going to bully his ward. It's not his daughter, his ward. And suddenly this pirate ship flies over, and the bullies run off in horror and terror, sheer terror. And the guardian and the ward are together, and they're talking. He's trying to figure out why all of a sudden on Earth there's this global cooling going on. Not global warming, but global cooling. It's been going on for a while. Portions of the Earth that normally aren't under snow are under snow. And he meets up with a scientist, and the scientist is actually like a glyph reader or a expert in languages, because they've found some stones down at this, which appears to be the center of all this global cooling, this epicenter. And they're going to go underground. They've gone to a research center, and they start to go under. And they find these frozen Amazons, and then they find one in particular that's taller than the rest. These are all kind of giant compared to them, but this one is very, very tall. And this is the queen that we saw at the very beginning. That was kind of directing her troops and whatnot back in the day. I believe that's the same. It could be someone different, but I think it might be the same. And so they don't want to activate her, but they're trying to read the stone tablets that are around there, and they figure out that she is supposed to be released at some point, and she's going to create havoc throughout the world, just freezing the entire world. Now, someone that's with them is a saboteur, and she actually has the scientist recite the final portion of the release. I guess it's like a release verse, and it causes the Earth to shake. The Earth has been shaking in this area already. Everybody's evacuating out. And at some point, she goes ahead and shoots the chamber that's holding the queen. It releases the queen's body, but the queen is still kind of in this hibernation state. Meanwhile, our professor has been frozen solid by the cold blast that came out it. And so we find out that that this woman that was the professor's assistant is actually wants this being to freeze the entire Earth, and that's where we're left to be continued. So we got a saboteur, we've got this string of aliens heading towards Earth to take it over. We've got these strange ice gods that or ice Amazons under the Earth that are perhaps being activated. And we've got the space pirate Harlock trying to protect his ward at the same time. So a lot of stuff, neat stuff's going on. You know, the art in it is very fascinating. I really enjoyed looking at this. And let's take a look at some of the bonus art that was included in here. These are just the pen and inks, or the inks. And these appeared throughout the story, but this is just the basic hookup. This is the ship's computer that was in one of the panels. We got the symbol that he worked on there. And here are the variant covers. So you can see there was quite an assortment of them, as well as here's number 2 issue, the cover for that, the regular cover. The Earth government isn't up to the task of protecting the planet from an impending invasion, so Harlock and his crew have taken it upon themselves. The space pirates rush to investigate a looming threat already implanted on Earth that will make Maison takeover of that much more likely. Will they be able to meet this threat head on and eliminate it from the board before humankind is under siege from all sides? So there you go. Pretty exciting story. And then we get the typical Ablaze. I really like their books, the way they put some like a little picture on the back. But this weather worries me. I have feelings that there are forces at work. So there you go. Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Let's put it right over here. It gets the Indie Comics Jones Good Excavating Seal of Approval, given out by Indie Comics Jones only on this channel. Accept no substitutes. Thanks for stopping by and listening to this review. As always, please like, please subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of the Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.